one. I'll introduce us, say we're from Carver Academy. Then we'll go around and introduce ourselves. I'll just start here to my left and say your first last name, what grade you're in, and we'll go around. And then I'll just jump in with the questions, and as you have answers, just chime in. If nobody's chiming in, I'm going to call you out. Understand?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Does that help you?
Yeah. It calms my nerves.
All right, I see what I have in my collection of junk here. I'd give you your permission slip to doodle on, but can't do that, can I?
I was so focused on getting this.
All right, here's my notes from last time. If you have any cell phones on you, make sure they're on silent. Mine will go off at some point during the show. It'll be embarrassing, but it's my fault, not yours.
I wouldn't turn it off now. Like the ringer.
I don't know how.
For real?
Just leave me alone.
I'll help you.
Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone.
You don't know?
It's not my favorite cell phone in the world.
What kind of
It's
phone
a
do you
school
have?
phone.
He has like a phone that's like mine. so
It's a
they show
Samsung.
me.
I don't like it. It's my school phone. Just leave me
Oh,
alone.
wow.
No, I do not.
iPhone,
Yeah, that's what I have.
the lower rated of phones.
I don't care. That's what I like.
Samsung's
That's why I like Samsung, because I've just always had one.
Well, iPhones, I don't like iPhones because it messed up my computer. Like some
So,
She plugged up her iPhone and then it just stopped working after she got done.
So yeah, I got a Samsung.
That's why I like Samsungs, because they don't mess up your computer.
okay.
Oh,
Good morning, everyone out in Radio Land. This is KBBG with another episode of Family Rewards of Life. I'm your host today, Steve Tooney. I'm assistant principal at George Washington Carver Academy, located in Waterloo, Iowa. Mr. Landers is the head principal, and Miss Evans is the other assistant principal working directly with me. Today, I have 4 students from George Washington Carver that were selected by their teachers for their outstanding academic performance, their outstanding behavior, and their willingness to talk on the radio. We're going to talk about what's important to these young people, our future generations, and we're going to just listen to their insight and their information. This radio station has done a great job of providing me a monthly ability to come in and host a radio show like this, and I truly enjoy it. I also need to do a shout out to Dr. Gloria Kirkland Holmes, who usually hosts this program, but when I show up, for some reason, she just lets me run with it. So I'm forever grateful to that. All right, well, let's start by introducing all of my wonderful young students. We'll start immediately to my left.
Hello everyone, I am Autumn Watley.
Hello, my name is Christian Thompson.
Hello, I'm Mackenzie Damaris.
Morning, everyone. My name is Devin Jones, 8th grade.
Thank you, Mr. Jones, 8th grade. Hey, quick question. Autumn, what grade are you in?
I'm in 8th as well.
Okay. Christian,
I'm in 6th grade.
6th grade. And Mackenzie?
I'm in 7th.
Excellent, excellent. How many of you have been on the radio before?
I have once.
And for those out in Radio Land, that was Autumn. All right, so some of us have experience, some of us don't, but that's okay. We're going to jump right into this. Let's talk about first teaching. What makes a teacher a great teacher? Jump in when you have a thought or an idea.
A teacher that focuses on like what type of stuff you like to do. So it's just not like a teacher giving you lectures all the time that actually wants to hang out and gets to know you a little bit more after you get all your work done. I like those type of teachers.
Excellent, excellent. Christian, you have some thoughts on this.
Their character,
Character, what do you mean?
like their attitude and their personality.
Those things are important as well as their content knowledge, aren't they? Absolutely. Mackenzie?
I think what makes a teacher great is when they're not just sitting at the board, like write this down to the notes, when they actually let you do it yourself too.
Excellent. Devin?
Well, I think what makes a good teacher, like the teachers who like stay cool, collected, and calm. Like sometimes we're not the best students. I like teachers who usually don't yell.
You know, that's very mature and grown up of you. Everybody, no matter where you're from or what school you've ever gone to, there's moments when kids will be kids, right? And we can all be ornery. I know I can be. So a person who's kind of in charge of the room, that stays cool, calm, those are key things to look for. That's excellent. What's your guys' favorite subjects?
Mine is math.
That was Mackenzie, and she likes math. Excellent. Who's your math teacher this year?
Miss Nevsker.
Miss Nefsker. What are you guys working on right now?
We are working on,
Oh, I put her on the spot. She's thinking.
I have to think.
All right, we'll come back to you, but I want to know what you're working on in 7th grade math. I do have an idea. How about Christian? What's your favorite subject?
Math,
Math as well? Who's your math teacher?
Mr. Chase.
And what are you guys working on in 6th grade?
We're working on dividing decimals.
That can be kind of tricky, right?
Yep.
Excellent. I also heard through the grapevine you guys are working on percents a little bit?
Mhm.
Excellent. So if you go out to eat at a fancy dinner, do you know how to figure 15% now?
Yeah.
And what's that signify? 15% is what?
.15.
Right? But why do you have to figure out 15% of your bill? Why would you have to do that if you're out eating?
Oh, so you can give them a tip.
There you go. Boom. All right. Autumn.
My favorite subject is advanced social studies.
Advanced social studies, not just regular social studies. Why is it advanced social studies? What makes it advanced?
Because it's U.S. history, but yet then again it challenges your mind a little bit. So it's like you're solving real world problems, but you're in a classroom.
That's fantastic. Who's your instructor for that?
Mr. Timms.
Mr. Timms. Yes, he does do a lot of real world application, doesn't he? That's fantastic. Devin, haven't heard from you.
Well, I think my favorite subject would be technology, like computers, hands-on stuff.
That's excellent. So that involves not only math, but some science and social studies. It involves a lot of things, doesn't it? Plus just learning how to operate a computer.
Yep.
Excellent. Excellent.
Always
So-
been interested.
Yeah, it is very interesting. So let's jump in for, okay, those are your favorite subjects. We have a lot of math, some social studies, some computer. So very intellectual group I have here today. That's fantastic. What do you want to do with that? I mean, what do you want to do for when you're out of the school, done with college? What do you want to do?
Well, I wanted to go to art school for me because I like to draw a lot.
And that's a very interesting, that was Autumn, by the way, and as she's working and answering questions and participating, she's also doodling, and so far she's drawn a cat person who looks amazingly real, like she should work for Disney, perhaps. Christian, what's your...
Are you actually know, like, what do you want to be when you
Yeah,
grow up?
exactly, Christian. What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be an NFL player.
Excellent. What age do most NFL players retire at?
Maybe late 30s.
Yeah, I would say so. So what do you want to do when you're done playing football?
A coach, a football coach.
Excellent. So that means you have to take a lot of science and some math, but you have to know kinesiology, you have to know anatomy, you have to know how to help players through their injuries, plus you have to know a lot about the sport, right?
Yeah.
So you want to coach football, I'm assuming.
Yes.
All right. High school level, college level, where do you want to coach?
College.
Wow. Well, I hope I'm around long enough to cheer for your team. Excellent. Both your professional team and your coaching team. Excellent. Mackenzie, have you given it any thought?
Yeah, I would like to be a coach of all types of sports.
So not limit yourself to a specific sport?
Yeah.
What?
Well, my favorite for me would have been volleyball,
Sure.
so that would be the main thing I would coach.
Okay, so do you want to do that at what level? What age kids do you want to coach?
Middle school.
Really?
Yeah.
Middle school. Now, I hate to break this to you. Middle school coaches do not get paid a whole lot of money. So do you have anything where you're going to make a lot of money so you can coach even better?
I could be a teacher too.
Oh, you could be. Absolutely. It's a very demanding profession, but it's incredibly rewarding. Excellent. Devin,
Well, I always been interested in like computers. I always wanted to like work at Microsoft and make my own brands of computer. Like I could be the next Steve Jobs.
No, I think you became my favorite. That's an excellent answer. That's an excellent answer. So you have to take a lot of computer programming in college. You have to learn a lot about math and the logic of following steps, because that's how you program a computer. You may even have to learn a different language, a computer programming language, to really get in there and do some amazing things.
Thank you.
That's a fantastic. Jump in.
I'd like to comment on that.
Sure.
The best place to start for that would be at John Deere because they have the coding programs and everything.
They do have some high tech there, don't they? They absolutely do. Hey, as long as we're talking about what we want to do, have you guys given any thought about what college you'd like to go to?
Art institutes.
Any old art institute? Or do you have a favorite, or have you
No,
not
it's
really?
called the Art Institute.
Oh, the Art Institute, all right,
Yeah.
I got you, I got you. How about the rest of us? Any idea where you want to go to college? It's important to set these goals, even at the middle school level.
I would like to go to UNI because they don't just have one subject to do, they have a varieties of choices.
They do. It's an amazing school. I'm an alumni of there, and I think it's a great place to go. But a lot of colleges and universities have many, many subjects and content areas for you to explore. So don't just limit yourself when you're exploring.
Okay.
I want you to go to UNI, but explore them all, because there's amazing things out there. Christian,
Iowa State.
Iowa State, you realize they don't have the best football program in the world. I'm saying that because I'm an Iowa State fan. I don't want anybody sending me mail that they don't like me anymore. I'm a huge Iowa State fan, and I cheer for their football team all the time, but they don't have the best luck. You gonna change that for us?
Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. I'm super excited about that. Now I can't hardly wait for them to grow up. Devin,
I was thinking UNI.
you were thinking UNI as well. Excellent. Do you have anybody in your family that went to UNI?
Well, yeah, my brother.
Excellent. Is he still there?
No. Now he works at a bank.
Fantastic. So he made it all the way through and has a good job.
Yep.
That's fantastic. Does anybody have any current family members that are going to a university?
My sister she goes to culinary school in Finland.
In Vinton? That's fantastic. So she wants to be a chef, huh?
Yep.
You should have her call me. I have an uncle who has a restaurant in Webster City. He's always looking for good chefs. Maybe help her get her job. Who knows? All right, that's fantastic. I'm glad you guys have set some goals and you have some dreams. That's just what I was hoping you would have. My son is getting ready to go to college next year, and so I'm going through that whole process. If we had started when he was your age with making plans for a college, this would have been a lot less stressful. Hey, let's talk about Carver right now. What's going on at Carver? What are some things going on at Carver that you really appreciate, that you like, that you think Carver has it going on where like the best middle school ever because of it?
That we have some pretty cool teachers.
Oh, I'm so happy to say that. And you're pretty demanding with what you expect from teachers, so that makes me feel even better.
Yeah, because I don't like those type of teachers that just sit and give you lectures. Like, that makes you not want to even take the class. It's like, if you're not going to make it fun for us, why should we even try to learn? Because you're making us feel like this class isn't important.
That's amazing. That's some amazing, wise advice for everybody there. All right, how about the rest of you? What's going on at Carver that you look forward to every day? Is there anything?
I like how in some classes, like in science, we do this thing called grudge ball.
Grudge ball?
Yeah,
Do I want to know what that is?
yeah.
Okay, tell us.
It's kind of like trivia. She puts on like a word that we just learned
Uh-huh.
with some notes that give us some key points of what it may be
All right.
and what it may not be.
Oh, so she
So-
does both, like what it may be and what it may not be, and you have to figure it out?
Yeah. And so she puts a word up, and if we figure it out, we write it on a whiteboard and we put it up. And if we get the right answer, we get to throw it in this bin. And if we get the bin, we get to get points.
Oh, so you're like shooting baskets with wads of paper if you get it right, that kind of thing?
Sure.
Oh, am I not right?
Well, yeah, in a way.
Okay, that sounds like a lot of fun. What's one of the last words you remember from the last time you played grudge ball?
We learned about rocks. I think it was Sedimentary, I think that's what
That's,
it's
that's an
called.
actual type of rock, so that might be it, absolutely. By the way, have you thought about what you're doing in math right now?
Oh yeah, we're on this. We just got a new book, so we're just started, and we're learning of how to make a graph with a whole bunch of information from different places and compare them.
Oh, that's a heck of a skill.
And it's advanced math.
Of course it is. Of course it is. Excellent. How about the rest of us that haven't said anything about what's going on great at Carver right now in your mind? What's going on? Go ahead, Devin.
Well, I guess the teachers, I have to say, like, Carver has like the best teachers I met during my school year.
That's fantastic. You guys
Yeah.
are making me feel great.
And like I said, I like the ones who don't have like short-tempered, who gets mad easily.
Yep, I like those too, I gotta be honest. I like those that can stay calm. But, Christian, you've been awful quiet. What's going on at Carver that you enjoy?
The 6th grade staff.
6th grade staff. Oh, not just teachers, the whole staff. That's fantastic. I see a lot of you at lunch every day. I see you visiting with some of your friends and getting along with people. How are your relationships with other kids? How are we doing there?
Well, I have a pretty good relationship with other kids at the school,
Uh-huh.
so I would say that the relationship in the 7th grade is pretty good.
Excellent. How about the rest of us? How are we doing?
I'm in 8th grade, and I'd say with me and my little group of friends, we're like connected as a family in that sense, but some other students act really crazy.
Do you think every school in the whole country has their share of students that just aren't always compliant with all the rules?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so too. What can we do to help maybe change the rules, help improve education in this country? What can we do to help improve education in this country? What's your thinking on that? That's a big topic. So what's your thinking?
Well, what we can do is that, like how at Carver, how I was talking about the grudge ball,
Mhm.
maybe for the students who are a little crazy, who likes to do funner things than just sit down in a chair and learn, you could like create games with it
Okay,
and help them to make it to where it's fun for them too.
that's excellent. And just a point of reference, I don't like the word crazy. I mean, I think it's fun to have crazy good time, but I don't like calling kids crazy. I think every kiddo at Carver and every school in this whole country has worth. There's something valuable about them and something they can bring to society that maybe nobody else has ever brought. And it's our job as instructors, as teachers, as principals, and even your job as classmates to help find that in everybody, to help find that one thing that makes that person a huge benefit to society. So I guess my question is bigger than Carver. How can we help improve education in the whole United States? You've heard the reports that we're not doing so good on our tests. We don't rank as high as we used to. So what's your thinking? How can we improve the whole educational system in the country?
like actually make the questions off of stuff we learn, because I've noticed that on some of the Iowa tests that we have to do, that some of the questions confuse us because it's not what we learned.
Right, and that's the point of the Iowa assessments. There's a certain percentage of the questions are stuff you should not have learned yet, but they're testing you on them just to see if you might have some innate ability, something we should tap into, something you know already without having been formally taught. So that's kind of how we use that data a little bit. But I agree, some of the questions need to be rethought, and they are working on that, honestly. So what else can we do to improve?
Another thing they could do is for instance, I'm in 7th grade, they could get us ready and pull some stuff from 8th grade to help us.
Absolutely. And as we work on the standards, the Iowa standards for what you're supposed to learn, some of that, it builds on it. So we have, like the same standard might be in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, but it keeps getting more complicated. So that's something we've done to help work on that. So that's something we're doing as well. Excellent. Devin, Christian, what's your thinking on how we can improve education?
I think maybe we shouldn't go to another session fast. We should take our time, make sure everyone understands.
So
the
you want,
subject.
I think you're talking about, make sure we're teaching to master, make sure kids are understanding before we move on.
Yep.
So what about those kids that learn it fast, and we're still going over that same material. What should we do for them?
Right? Yeah, I think maybe we should some teachers should pull them to teach the next step, what they're supposed to learn.
Oh, excellent. That becomes kind of a tough thing for me to schedule out for teachers, but I like the way you're thinking. Excuse me. Go ahead.
I'd like to add on, so I like to learn different languages, and there's not really a vast variety of languages to learn once you get to high school. Maybe we could bump that up.
Right. We're lucky at Carver. We have it's sort of a 9th grade Spanish class, right, that we offer for 8th graders. I would like to see foreign languages in the elementary, to be honest with you. I think that would really help us grow.
Because I found this thing called Duolingo at school because one of my computer teachers were talking about it. And I really like it because I'm currently learning Italian. It's really cool.
Can you share any words with us? I have no idea what you just said.
It means I regret nothing.
Excellent. That's a great motto as well. Christian, haven't heard from you. What's your thinking?
I agree with what Devin said, teach kids at their own pace.
So how do you have to sort of push kids too, to go a little bit faster than
Yeah.
maybe what they're comfortable with. And I like that idea, and I think we're trying to do that with differentiation. Maybe that's a term you've heard, maybe it isn't. But teachers are trying to do that in all your classes, and we're still learning how to make that smooth out. It's something called MTSS, Multi-Tiered System of Supports. So we can take kids that have got it and are pushing them on, and kids that are struggling, help them out. Some of you have, you don't know of kids that during homeroom are pulled into different groups. That's part of the support system that we're working on to help bring everybody up to speed. So those are some things we're actually working on right now. And this is fantastic that this is what you want. Excellent. Any thoughts on that? Any other topic or any other thoughts on how we can improve education?
Well, to add on to what Devin said about how you should let the kids who are working faster have them do work ahead. One of my teachers that I have, he says he plans ahead. If someone is faster and works harder, that they have more stuff to work on. Why some of the other kids are still back doing what they need to do.
That's excellent. Is that social studies?
Yes, it's Mr. Harmon.
Mr. Harmon? Yeah. He does do a nice job of that whole menu approach to teaching. It's really impressive to watch. In fact, I was doing an observation of him today, and it was just fantastic. Just fantastic. Hey, let's switch gears just a little bit and talk about the world as a whole. Not just education, but the world as a whole. You guys are smart, bright young people. You pay attention to the world. You know that right now in our world, we have some things that aren't so positive going on with terrorists and with poverty and with just general violence. If you had unlimited resources, if you could do anything in the world to change that, what would you do? I wish everybody out in Radio Land could see the way that the students responded to that question. They all sort of sat back a little bit and kind of scratched the hair on their chin, so to speak, about, thinking about what might be an answer to this. These are big topics. What do you think? No wrong answer.
I think we should limit stuff for war, because really we have troops out there that we still don't know what they're doing. We don't know if they're okay or not. So if you're gonna start a war, make sure it's for a reason and not just something petty.
That's some wise advice there. Sage advice, you might even say. Devin?
I think we should reduce gang violence and police brutality.
I would agree completely. How do we do that?
How? Or maybe police officers could take suspects for questioning first, instead of just assuming that they were involved in it.
Okay, so I hear you say maybe we need to slow down a little bit to do things better.
Yeah, don't jump to a conclusion.
There you go. I like that. I like that. Mackenzie, Christian,
I would change poverty.
how would you change poverty?
Give back to the poor people.
Do that through churches, do that through schools, do that through community organizations. How would you do that?
Churches.
That's a good way to do it. I think a lot of our churches in Waterloo do work and try to provide resources for everybody.
To help our community with like violence, we could try to help them, like, what do they need? Like, what are they doing, trying to do to, like, killing people? What is the need for that? And then, like, kind of like he said, we could do a community fundraiser to help, people who don't usually have, like, a lot of money for their family, and, yeah.
Some fantastic ideas, Mackenzie. I'm amazed by what I'm hearing my future generations, the future leaders of Waterloo talk about here. I have a couple follow-up questions for you, though. How do you find out what people need?
Well, we can ask, or they could come to us and we could, like, put on a billboard or something. Like,
You know,
if we need.
And the simpleness of your answer is fantastic. We could ask. How beautiful would that be?
Or you can also just give without having to ask. Like, there's so many people out there that look like they might need help, but they try to say, oh, I got it, and try to keep their
The pride?
pride. But it's like, if you need help, you need to ask. Nobody's gonna know if you don't ask for help. But regardless, you
It's
should
like
still give
students in a
back.
classroom, right? Teachers don't know if you need help unless you ask. Absolutely. So we have to work on that. We have to teach people how to ask, right? Is that what I'm hearing?
Also, I agree with her. Like, some of the people who are homeless and we see that they need help, we could just help them without them needing to ask, because then we would feel even better inside knowing that we did something for them that we knew that they needed and they didn't have to tell us.
This is fantastic. So let me ask you, how would you help somebody that you think is homeless and in need of it? What kind of help would you give them? Yeah, Devin, jump in.
Like, I think we should build more homeless shelters and comfortable beds, more better food, better clothes.
Those are good advice. That's great ideas.
Also, we could add on to some of the shelters that they have.
Yep, we could.
Like money.
Money. Would you just hand them money? Okay. All right, no strings attached? Fantastic.
Or like we could tear down some of the hotels that are being built, because it's ridiculous. There's a lot of hotels in that one spot. I mean, I understand that it's like a business thing, because one night the aisle may be booked up. Not saying it might.
Right, I understand.
It's just a scenario. Like, they're spending so much money on new hotels, new stores, new this, new that, and there's not a lot of churches we see here. If there are, it's like the little small ones. There's not really a huge one like other places have. We need more.
All right. Well, those are good ideas.
You mean,
I also agree with her.
Oh, okay, good. Devin?
you mind if I add on?
Yeah, please.
How about job selection? Like, how about the homeless shelter? You should like select your own jobs, and you could,
So
like
you-
until they like get back on their feet, like get new houses.
So the homeless shelters maybe should have some job training built into them?
Yep, like so they can earn money to buy their own houses and get back on their feet.
That's a fantastic idea. Hey, I just got the warning that we only have 2 minutes left of this wonderful half-hour program, and I haven't said much of anything about what's coming up at Carver. Don't forget, everybody out there in Radioland, Carver has an app that you can download for your phone. It's free. fanapp.mobi/GWCA. Find it, download it. You can reach out to the administrators right through that app. Track season is in full swing. Our first home meets are April 23rd and 28th. Make sure you plan on attending. We have some really fast Carver students that are going to set some records this year. I know it. I also like to remind parents for all Waterloo School kiddos that they can pre-register at their buildings at school at any time. Just make sure you bring some proof of address. Before we have to sign out, anybody want to give a shout out to anybody in their family or at school? Go around.
Shout out to Mr. Chase. He's my favorite teacher. And he was really cool and really awesome. And also a shout out to Mr. Harmon, because he is fun.
All right. Christian.
I want to give a shout out to my parents and my grandparents and my social study teacher, Mr. Wolf, and my math teacher, Mr. Chase.
Fantastic.
I'll have to
Mackenzie.
give out a shout out to Mr. Harmon and my mom and dad too.
Excellent. Devin.
I'd like to give shout outs to my family, to my favorite teachers like Mr. Tiz and Mr. Kish, Ramsey.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Once again, I'd like to thank Waterloo Community Schools for providing the opportunity for me to attend and bring kids to this on a monthly basis. I'd like to thank KVBG Radio for always being such a gracious host and allowing my children at Carver and any school to flourish and grow. I'd like to also thank Dr. Gloria Kirkland Holmes for allowing me to host this on a regular basis. I miss her guidance and expertise, but I'm glad I get to do this. So thank you to all of those and to the parents and teachers of these fine young people I have it with me today for granting me the permission to bring them here. Until next time, 88.1 on the FM dial, KBBG.
When the world must come together as one, there are people dying. Oh, it's time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that somewhere will soon make a change. We are a part of God's great big family, and the truth, you know, love is all we need. We are the world. We are the children. We are the ones who better so let's start feeling. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, we'll make a better day, just you and me.
That was one of the best radio shows I've ever been a part of. Well done.
We did that song
Nailed it.
for the concert.
Well done. That was great conversation. Insightful, enlightening, and spot on. That was a lot of fun. I can hardly wait for them. Once they send me a link